Public comment period. There have been cards that have been passed around. People can put their names on. As we told you at the beginning, we wanted this process to be as open as possible. We're also taking comments from online, so we'll kind of go back and forth, take someone from the audience and then someone online. So on the sake of time, I'm going to start the announcements. The names, you don't have to come to the mic. We'll come to you with the microphone. And let me thank you. Let me apologize ahead of time if I don't pronounce your name correctly. Thank you. So first person, I'm assuming it's going to be Kymone Freeman.
Okay. All right. Thank you for having us. I've been here all day, and it seems to me, aside from Brother Mayor KJ right here, and I really want to thank him for his being not being PC. Thank you, sir. That's what we need. But except for his testimony, I feel as if we have been in a parallel universe. Do we know why we're here? I mean, do we know why the president convened this task force? It wasn't for us to talk about how good of a job our police are doing, or how much the crime rate has gone down, or how we can do this better. We're here because it's been open season on the murders of unarmed citizens. That's why we're here. Or should I say, we're here because there's been an outrage against that, because this has been going on, the type of policing against people of color in this country for centuries. This has come to a head because we are under the tutelage, or should I say, under the jurisdiction of a black president and a black attorney general, and it has not changed. So in lieu of that, it has come to a head because the system seems to be unwilling or incapable of putting a leash on killer cops. It seems as if that no one is actually in charge of the police. At the sake of pissing or upsetting a large organization of armed white men, it seems even in New York, as we have seen, that there is a great ocean of divide between the community, the so-called leadership of the police officers, and the police officers themselves. This is unacceptable. How do we do this? We need community control of the police. Mayor KJ has suggested that in an instance of unarmed citizen being killed by the police, that they kick it upstairs to the FBI. Well, we've seen that the FBI and their role has been questionable historically. What we need is community control over the police. The citizenry are basically unaware of their rights in dealing with police officers. We don't have civic education in that regard. And police officers take advantage of that. They are trained to take advantage of that. And there's two types of policing. There's policing for people of color, and there's policing for those who are not. And unfortunately, a lot of people who are not of color do not have a point of reference. They have not been verbally insulted by police officers. They have not been thrown to the ground. They have not been having their car searched or their belongings thrown onto the ground. Doing a traffic stop. 96% of all the arrests in Washington, D.C. is nonviolent. We need to understand this. Broken windows, this is basically acting as a domestic occupying police terrorist force in communities of color for the safety and the comfort of those who are moving in. So settlers displacing natives and their comfort supersedes the quality of life of people of color. And we're here because no one has put a leash on killer cops. So I have 5 recommendations.
You have 30 seconds, sir.
Here we go. Number 1, we need to have a legitimate citizen review board with the power to fire and indict officers for misconduct. Most cities already have an office of police complaints, as we do here in D.C., but they do not have these powers. They are paper tigers, and we need to give them that power. So they are actually responsible for the people they're serving. We should require a significant percentage of police that work in the community to actually live in that community. This has been tried before and has found to be unconstitutional to require people to live in designated areas, but how can this simply be This can simply be overcome by challenging these rulings in court to reflect similar requirements for our local politicians that are forced to live in the areas that they do represent. The mayor must live in the city he or she represents. The council must live in the area of the city that he or she represents. Why not the police? 3, have an automatic expulsion clause that dictates that any officer who causes the loss of life of any person who is found to be unarmed and innocent of any wrongdoing to be automatically fired and subject to further prosecution. 4, every year in every city in this country, millions of dollars are awarded in civil lawsuits to settle cases of police misconduct. All of this money comes out of the city's budget. The financial liability should be shared with both the budget of the police department and the salary of the officer in question. I assure you this more than anything else will immediately alter the behavior of rogue cops. Finally, 5, engage community input into the city negotiations with the all-powerful police unions for any future contracts and add transparency to this procedure. Therefore, we need to get rid of the grand jury system because it is obviously not working. We have not seen one indictment in years with all these cases, and this is why we're here, and this is why the president convened this task force to put a leash on rogue cops. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman.